Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Wednesday, November 4, 2015. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Admitting that the pain of the rock gutter incident still grieves her heart, Bernadine Nedd, mother of the van driver, Reverend Nanton, who was involved in the accident, says she's at peace with the outcome of the coroner's inquest. Yesterday, a 5-member jury concluded that 3 persons are to be held accountable for the accident, which resulted in the death of 7 children from the Fancy community. The driver, along with the conductor, Ehud Myers and Colbert Bowens, one of the persons involved in the decision of maintenance of the van, has been found culpable of manslaughter with gross negligence and are on $20,000 bail each with 2 surety. In an interview earlier today with Nedd, she said that she knows that many of the parents of the victims are still hurting and that she hopes the ruling of the inquest will bring them some relief.
The verdict yesterday, how I feel about it today, I'm more relaxed today about the situation, and because everybody had different views of things, and if that verdict brings peace of mind and satisfied the parent, I am not going to upset with them about what they think about the verdict. But I feel a peace of mind, although sometimes it may be painful, but at the same time, I had to go through a process of how the other mothers will go through as well, the mother who lose their children. So as a mother, I'm not only speaking about my son, I'm speaking about I could have been mother for the children who die as well.
Nedd says while she is pleased to see improved transportation now for the students in Fancy, it would have been good to have a better travel accommodation prior to the accident.
The payment was coming from the ministry. They was paying the bus to carry 18-seater to carry 20-something children. So in my opinion, we had to look into all that justice as well. And where justice is concerned, we have to be careful how we draw the line and point fingers, because at this moment I'm not pointing fingers, but listening to the judges, listen to where he outlined, listen to how he guide the jury. I know that is a lot of things to be said and done, but I had to keep in my mind at this stage.
Nedd says that while the pain of the January 12, 2015 incident still looms, she believes that she is now in a better place to help others who are and would be going through similar circumstances.
Listening is the first stage of learning, and that's how I learn a lot. And no matter the rejoicing and the so on, I maybe pass somebody straight and no respond. It doesn't mean I hold it against you because you're upset about your child. I in a worse situation than you because my son was driving the vehicle, so I feel in a lot of pain too. It's like sometimes it go over and over in my head how it happened, how it shouldn't happen, and all of that. At this moment, I know I'm going through a lot, but it's a trial and a testing time for you, and it will come a time when, with my experience now, I probably will feel good to help somebody come through a situation like this.
A former senior member of the RSVG Coast Guard says the call for the resignation of Commissioner of Police Michael Charles is justified, since a photograph surfaced recently of the commissioner decked in the party colors of the ruling Unity Labour Party and displaying the party's slogan 4 in a row signed on his hands. There have been a number of calls for his resignation, including from the opposition New Democratic Party. However, on Hitstock last Sunday, a former senior member of the RSVG Coast Guard of Liverpool deemed the commissioner's behavior as inappropriate, noting that the calls for his resignation are justified.
The position of the police commissioner is a very significant one, right? And I don't think he conducted himself in the proper manner. And I think the people have a right to call for his resignation, because I think the people are very dissatisfied pertaining to his behavior, and this is not a new thing. This is not a new thing. We have heard about his behaviors in the past, all right? And we cannot have to go down like this when the head of security has to show example.
Meanwhile, Pastor Cecil Richards of the Kingstown Baptist Church is of the opinion that persons who hold public positions are subject to various unwritten rules and must submit to them.
That by virtue of one's position that there are certain things that are unwritten that must be assumed with your office, whether it is political office or any high office or any public office, not so much as pertain to the job, but as pertain to public perception. And we have seen this, for example, in most recent impeachment procedures, or the attempt to impeach presidents, and the call, particularly for some who have been calling for the impeachment of even Barack Obama, issues that has marginally anything at all to do with his conduct. And so, again, whether it is my office as minister or public office or commissioner's office, that is something that is very much part and parcel of the thing. That once you accept certain roles here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that there are certain unwritten that must go along with it.
Civil engineer Glenford Stewart is firing back at critics who claim that the design for the New Democratic Party's proposed state-of-the-art hospital is something taken from the internet. Persons have been making comparison to the design of the hospital to something from the Facebook game Farmville. Stewart says the proposed hospital unveiled by the NDP last Saturday at the Calico Plain Field has some of the top experts involved in its design and was devised from scratch.
We, as an engineering firm, we don't have the expertise, but we can get the expertise.
True.
We have had people who have gone over to Loma Linda. For those who do not know about Loma Linda, they need to go on the web and see what kind of hospital is in Loma Linda.
Okay.
You know? People need to understand that we don't have to be architects to design a hospital. We engage architects. We don't have to be doctors to know what is required. We consult with doctors. We consult with nurses. And we come up with a design.
The engineer says that the NDP is serious about healthcare and the real criticism should be thrown at the Unity Labour Party.
When they're criticizing the hospital, all the detailed designs are done.
True.
You know? And they're talking about we took this off some net somewhere. I mean, rubbish. I mean, they talk about education revolution, but those who are speaking on behalf of the Unity Labour Party, we know we have Star Radio number 1 and Star Radio number 2.
True.
And Star Radio number 3. They cannot understand that the New Democratic Party is a serious party, not a fly-by-night party. So when we talk about a health system, a health program, it is not politicians who have developed this. It is technocrats, consultants, not only from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but from Loma Linda, from Washington, from Toronto, from from London, from Cambridge. We've consulted all of these people to come up with a design.
For too long, SVG has been a net importer of foods while there is a surplus of foods being grown here on home soil. That's according to the opposition MP for North Leeward, Roland Patel Matthews, in outlining his plans for the development of SVG should the NDP take government in the next general elections. Matthews says that with the party's plans to take the country into a healthier, wealthier future as the proposed Minister of Agriculture under the NDP government, he will work to ensure a healthier and wealthier SVG.
As the next Minister of Agriculture, I am here to tell you that what you eat is who you are. The New Democratic Party, we have a program for agriculture, a program that is set with good health practices, and we are going to make sure that Vincentians eat properly. The New Democratic Party is at the moment in discussion with a company that is working with some local farmers to produce food of a healthy standard, because we know that is the way forward.
The Ministry of Transport Works, Urban Development and Local Government will tomorrow host a ceremony for the official opening of 3 bridges and associated river defenses and roadways. The ceremony, which is expected to begin at 3 p.m., will be held on the empty plot of land next to the building that houses the Mesopotamia District Council Office and Adult Literacy and Continuing Education Program. The project, dubbed the Tiviot and Zinger River Defenses and Bridges Project, was designed and supervised by the Ministry of Works and constructed by R&R Construction Limited on the contract valued of $1,600,000 and $648 Eastern Caribbean dollars, with loan funding from the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The project consists 3 pedestrian bridges with associated river defenses upstream and downstream of the bridges and little more than 200 feet of roadway. At Tiviot, the opening ceremony will hear remarks from officials of the Ministry of Works, the contractor, Deputy Prime Minister, and the parliamentary representative for the area, Gerlin Miguel. The feature address will be delivered by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. A businessman of Glen was yesterday arrested and charged with the murder of Christopher Allen Rouse. Benjamin Jackson, a 42-year-old resident of Glen, has been charged with malice aforethought caused the death of 29-year-old Rouse by stabbing him on the left side of his neck with a pair of scissors at Glen on Sunday, November 1st, 2015. He appeared before the Serious Offences Court today and was remanded in custody until January 19, 2016, the date scheduled for the next court hearing. According to a police report, Rouse, a laborer, walked to the Glen mobile station approximately 4:30 a.m. and reported to the police officers there that he was involved in an altercation with another man who had stabbed him to the left side of his neck. He collapsed at the station and died shortly after making the report. A post-mortem examination was carried out on the body of the deceased on Monday, November 2nd. Rouse's death is recorded as the 23rd homicide for 2015. A 2-day reading comprehension, language development and literacy assessment workshop wrapped up here yesterday. The workshop was hosted by the Ministry of Education and Hodder Education. Hodder Education is a UK-based company. It is one division of the parent company Hatchet UK, which from January 2016 will take over the publishing rights from Pearson.
I must dare say that Hodder as a company in the Caribbean is here to stay. It is committed to working with schools and ministries of education in the Caribbean to develop learning and teaching skills here in the Caribbean. As for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you will know that we sponsor the writing competition that the children do for grade 5. We had it and we've been doing it with Pearson, and Hodder would have continued with that. Now we have this training workshop, the reading comprehension and language development, and we are happy to partner with the Ministry of Education to bring it to you.
The two-day workshop was facilitated by Hodder education trainer KT McKenzie-Stuart.
One of the things I've learnt is that teachers all over the world are very similar. They have the same desire to really help their pupils, the same desire to learn new ideas that they can take back and use in their classroom. And we're really hoping that today we can offer you some of those suggestions.
An orientation workshop on the strategic targeting, a process for community selection for the disaster risk reduction programs, will be held here tomorrow. The workshop is organized by the National Emergency Management Organization in collaboration with the International Federation of Red Cross and the Red Crescent Society, IFRC, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Red Cross Society, and the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CDMA. It also introduced the STM, which is a process to identify communities at risk for disaster risk reduction and climate change and adaptation action. It will also present two initiatives funded by the European Commission Department on Humanitarian Aid and Civil Protection, ECHO, the Caribbean Communities Organized for Prepared for Emergency, the CCOPE, and the Community Resilience and Institutional Preparedness Project in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tomorrow's workshop will be held at NEMO's conference room from 8:30 in the morning and will be facilitated by Nicole Williams of the IFRC. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Agriculture will tomorrow conduct a one-day training workshop on promoting cassava farmers to market linkages through contract. The workshop, which takes place at the Fisheries Conference Room from 9 in the morning, is part of the activities of the FAO Regional Initiative on improving food and feed systems in the Caribbean. A work session will be held from 1:30 p.m. at the Ministry of Agriculture Conference Room. The purpose of this workshop is to build the capacity of government officials, development practitioners, professionals from NGOs, private sector companies, and other interested persons on issues related to ensuring regular supplies to markets and facilitating market linkages through contract farming operations. It is anticipated that at the end of the workshop, participants will develop a framework for supporting agreements between growers, especially cassava farmers, and buyers. Lime recently made a donation of $2,000 worth of tools, along with providing a day of service to the botanical gardens. This was part of the company's mission day, which saw a number of staff members working to rehabilitate the hibiscus alley in the garden as well as the entrance bridge. Lime also handed over tools to the staff at the gardens, which, according to the technical supervisor, Ms. Pompey, were very much needed.
We are celebrating our mission day. Today is the day when we stop and we reflect on our missions here at Lime and how we can serve our community. So yes, our missions, we want to respect each other. We want to work as a team. We want to serve our customers with passion. And of course, every single day we thrive to be the best. That's our strive every single day. And we're here at the Botanic Gardens because we've chosen to partner with the family here who has expressed to us that they are struggling to keep this beautiful place just as it is beautiful.